Hello. I honestly am kind of freaking out right now. I've never done this before. I mean, that's not true. I've been on a podcast before, was literally sweating buckets before I did that. I was so nervous. And it's like super silly. I've always been like that. Just really nervous before any sort of, presentation as a kid, major stage fright, okay? And I don't know, I just kind of had this sort of calling to do a podcast recently. I have kind of been debating for like 2 years, but then I keep putting it off. I was going to do it with one person, and then that just fell through, and then another person, and then that fell through, and I was like, you know what? Maybe it's just not for me. And I'm a big believer in divine timing, and I just have had so many signs lately to just do it. Why not? Just do it. Okay, so a little bit about me. My name is Bianca. A lot of people call me B. I live in Canada, in a small little town in Ontario, and I am obsessed with learning. I love nature. Definitely more of a country girl than a city girl, okay? A little bit about my morning routine, because I love routine. I wake up, I really want to say that I am like an early bird, but I feel like I'm a forced early bird. I love my mornings. I love early mornings, but it's kind of a struggle for me. I'm much more of a night owl, but regardless, so I get up, I love to do a little bit of a meditation, and I have recently been getting into doing some reading in the morning, just a personal development book. Anyway, so I read a bit of my book, and then I brew myself a coffee. Some of you guys have probably seen me do that on my TikTok, where I also duet it with some stuff of being in your 20s. And I also watch, for the longest time, and I'm going to warn you, if you guys judge me, I'm going to be really upset because it's not funny. I watched Heartland like every single morning for like my whole life. Well, that's not true. Like when I was in university, I kind of slipped off that because I had like early morning classes and stuff, but I just freaking love Heartland, guys. And I'm not going to spoil anything for Heartland if you also watch Heartland, but like there is a certain point when you reach season 15, when something bad happens. It was heartbreaking. You know, when a show, just like you would get so attached to a show and the people in it, and like they pull a Grey's Anatomy type thing where they like wipe off every main character and you have to make a new bond with a new character, and you're like, this is not George. Anyway, I'm going on a little bit of a rant here, but basically, I'm a country girl and I like my small town shows. Heartland, recently been watching Virgin River. I'm kind of a fan. It's good. I like it and love my coffee. So, leaning into the 20s kind of deal, I'll dive more into certain topics later, but this podcast is all going to be about the realness of being in your 20s. I mean, the amount of gaslighting that is put on us, that is like, wait till you get to your 30s, and just invalidating the feelings that we're going through right now and the struggles that we're going through, because especially right now, being 20-something during the pandemic, there's a lot of issues. We can't just sit around and say like, being a 20-something kind of sucks, but like being in your 40s is worse. Sure, but I am having a lack of support right now. So essentially, we're going to talk about it. May get some guests in here, and I'm just going to do a little story time of what's going on with me. And then I like to come with some advice. So if you know who I am already, I do have a blog that I dabble in from time to time. And I actually started with Pinterest. So I would put some Pinterest posts up. I lean to Instagram and then TikTok. So TikTok is the one where I have like the most amount of followers, which is so funny because I swear I did not know what TikTok was until I got the app and posted on it, because I was like, I am not going to get this app and be sucked into the instant gratification of all and lose my sense of time, because it would have been during the pandemic and I was already going through like a lot of shit. And I know a lot of you guys were too. And I just had this inner knowing that way of like getting content. And I wanted to be more intentional. I wanted to create more of like a deeper connection with people who resonate with the stuff I post. And through a podcast, you are allowed to pick the topics that resonate with you. You can listen to every single one, or you don't need to, like whatever, but it's just more intentional. And I think that especially this generation needs to learn the value in that when they are scrolling for hours on TikTok and social media. I mean, it's great, but it's also like not distracting yourself from maybe some emotions you're feeling, or it's like a band-aid on a deeper rooted issue. You know a little bit about me. I basically started this whole idea. It was an outlet, I would say, during one of my first life transitions, which is a huge thing that a lot of 20-somethings go through. I did multiple all-nighters, back-to-back labs, and I did tough exams, and then I got a Bachelor of Science degree. I have a degree in forensic science. Woo! I got it. Graduated during the pandemic. Near the end of it, I was like, oh, wait, I don't even know if I like this. I don't feel like this resonates with me anymore. And I just had a full blown identity crisis, to be honest. And I needed to regain a sense of purpose in my life. And that's when I started really reading about spirituality and personal development and healing. And I noticed something. Although I had previously raved about my intelligence, like I don't want to seem cocky or anything, but I thought I was an intelligent girl. Like I did really freaking well in school. I studied hard, I got good grades, and I did all the hard classes: physics, chemistry, biochem, organic chemistry, calculus, linear algebra, like all of that. And I did well, so pat on my back. But these books humbled me in the profound amount of information I need to still learn and unlearn. In some ways, I became this student again that I kind of was mourning. I loved being a student. And although I can't tell you like all the secrets of what it is to thrive in your 20s, because I am a 20-something myself. So I'm going through it just like you guys are, but I will hopefully share with you the knowledge that I gather along my own journey and the things that I am learning and unlearning. And that's where the detox comes into play here. Like I feel not only 20-somethings, but anybody in their 30s and 40s and 50s and so forth need to own this natural cycle that we go through of learning and unlearning things in order to basically detox or discard things that really no longer serve you. Because when you're learning something, it can be conscious, right? You can consciously learn a skill, whether it's in school or it's at work or it's on your own, but you can also learn things unconsciously, right? Like a lot of belief systems are unconscious, limiting beliefs that don't serve you. And the first step to everything is always just being aware of what's happening. And that is what I hope to do on this podcast for you guys, is provide some comfort, grab a coffee, grab a tea, get comfy. Maybe it's even just like getting ready for the day. Okay, other side note, I want to keep these shorter. I don't want to go over 30 minutes. And I'll tell you why. I don't want to go over 30 minutes because I don't really listen to podcasts over 30 minutes. And it's purely for the fact that I don't think I have an attention span that is that long. I want to create something that also would really benefit me. And at the same time, I have a lot of family members who are hearing impaired. And a podcast wouldn't really benefit them in the same sense as it would for people who are, audio learners. So I also want to do change my blog around in the sense that I'll do these show notes, kind of sum up what I talk about, little tips of things that I've shared, so that for people who are more visual learners and like to read, there'll be that option for you guys as well. Okay, so that's kind of what the podcast is about. I do want to keep it as casual as possible with also the touch of being educational, because like I said, am still very much a student in this. I'm not the teacher, but I will teach you guys in some ways of the stuff that I'm learning. But at the end of the day, you have to find what works for you, because a huge part in healing and personal growth is to not just mindlessly adopt people's morning routines and healing methods without really seeing if they work for you. So if it really doesn't resonate with you, that is totally normal. And I never want to be somebody that kind of shames other people into, I guess, like doing this one thing or buying this one thing. Like, oh my gosh, we see so much of that. And I just don't think that's healthy. To be quite honest, you are the only person that knows how to heal yourself and be a better version of yourself. So remember that, okay? But like I said, I want to keep these short and sweet. I think that this is a great way to just introduce myself. If you want to check out my social media and whatnot, it is the Twenties Detox. I also have a personal account, Bianca Venturudi. Okay, well, I guess that's it. If you have any topics that you want to talk about, I think I'm going to do this in like a season type thing, because I know myself, I'm going to want to make it freaking perfect and basically burn myself out. So to start, since I don't really know what I'm doing, that's okay. I'm going to do seasons of this. And yeah, if you want me to go over any topics, then please shoot me a DM. Get involved. This is going to be really chill. I want it to be chill, but I want it to be educational at the same time. Okay, well, looking forward to the next episode. I guess I'll see you guys then. Hope you have a great day.